This is the first seminar with J. Krishnamurti in Ojai, California, 1979.
You started.
The title of this conference was suggested to be Why is Mankind Degenerating? And yesterday afternoon we somehow started to discuss this question a little bit. And we said that it is quite an old question which has been raised by the Chinese, which has been raised by the Romans. And actually, when it was raised by the Romans, by Cicero and Horatius, a few hundred years afterwards, the Roman Empire really was wiped out. But the same question comes up again and again, and it seems that mankind has not found a solution to it at all. And maybe today it is more important than ever, because today we have the atomic bomb. We could really wipe out mankind totally. So the question is really why doesn't one find a solution to this? And we thought that maybe the reason for it is that we are always looking outside. We are looking at the political degeneration, we are looking at the economical decline, and we hardly ever look inside. And one other problem might be that we may not really see the crisis, we may not really see the challenge which is involved in that fact that mankind is degenerating. Maybe because of that we don't have the energy to do something about it. Wasn't that about all?
Yes, that was more or less. I think I remarked that I had just been to a conference in Bern, Switzerland, where we were commemorating the 100th anniversary of Albert Einstein, and they discussed the whole question broadly of Einstein's interest. So one of the points that was raised by several of the speakers was that in recent times there was a sense of a lack of a meaning or purpose or value in life. And this would have been quite unusual in a scientific discussion or philosophical of that kind, say 30 or 40 years ago. But some consciousness of this seems to be penetrating. And I think that if you look at the outward problems, the main thing is that people seem unable to confront them as you say, to realize the challenge of the outward problem, much less the inward problem. That we have a whole series of worldwide crises, and people are still using the same way of thinking, the same ruts that they've been using for many, many years, and no politician, no leader, or no writer is suggesting anything fundamentally new to meet this new challenge. And this indicates a lack of creative energy within. That really is part of the degeneration, that it may seem at least that people have a lower level of creative energy to meet than they might have had 30 or 40 years ago.
So would you consider, when we're talking about degeneration, degenerate from what?
Yes, well, I think that although maybe right or wrong, people feel that they had been really right 30 or 40 years ago. In some sense, they're further down in a way.
No. I mean, let's for the moment be clear when we use the word degeneration. Degenerate from what? From...
It's been put back into the past always as degeneration from a state pre-existing in time. This has been done in...
Would you say it is inferior degree of excellence?
I would have thought that it was less creativity, less creative energy.
Yes, we'll come to that.
Yeah.
I mean, mankind, at least human beings, both in India, Europe and here, I think have lost a sense of moral excellency, creative excellency, not technologically, but psychologically. And pleasure has become the most important, entertainment has become the most important thing. And the armaments and all the rest of it points, doesn't it, to mankind's decline. That's what first I want to define the word degeneration.
But doesn't that imply, sir, that there was this excellence before?
No,
That this excellence
I'm not talking
before?
from excellence. I don't know if it existed before.
Oh, I see.
I mean, they all thought, the Greeks thought they had excellence. Some, at least few of them. The ancient Egyptians had the same idea. And the same among the ancient Hindus. They said we must have moral excellence, spiritual, ethical excellence in the sense, right behavior, right conduct, right relationship and all that. That's what's implied, if I understand it rightly, the degenerating from that.
Right. Well, my question comes because there doesn't seem to be any record of such a thing really existing in any significant way. Maybe individuals here and there.
But even if it doesn't exist, even in ourselves as human beings, we are not up to the mark, if I may put it.
So do we then have to ask, where does this excellence come from? Is it something that is put together by thought, or is it something that...
We're going to inquire, sir.
Yes.
Let's go slowly into this, step by step, and then come to it, if I may. I don't know if you want to jump.
What would you say? I mean, perhaps there were a few people in the past who had this moral excellence. I don't know.
I don't know. I think to look to the past to see if there were any excellent people.
But if you say mankind is degenerating, you almost inevitably point that way. That is, by using the word degenerating, if you want to say man is degenerate.
Oh no, no, that would be the other way.
Too far.
Yes, quite.
But I think part of the trouble comes from the way you put the question, that by just saying, why is man degenerating, you imply a process of time.
Yes. Process of time, process of energy, and a sense of creative freedom, psychologically. All this indicates a sense of decline. That's all I'm just inquiring into it.
I think we have to be real careful because it also implies measurement.
It implies tremendous lots. First, let's begin slowly so that if we can, amongst ourselves, see whether it is we as human beings, you and I, X, Y, are in a state of freedom, creativity, and great energy. That's all we are just beginning, inquiring into a very complex question.
It seems like the first thing is to realize that you are degenerating to begin with.
If you don't like to use the word degenerate, let's change that word. To what? Could we put it, sir, is psychologically, is man flowering? Let's put it that way. That's perhaps is a better, is human beings being free, and so psychologically flowering, reaching their excellence, their sense of completeness, wholeness. I think perhaps let's push away the word degenerate and come to this. Could we take that?
Yes.
Would that be more?
Then you could say man is almost never flowering, really.
Right.
Huh?
Man is almost never flowering.
So let us see how we can, the group of us, see if we can't do this. Knowing mankind has not done it, and we are the representatives of mankind, obviously, and can we psychologically, in that deep sense of that word, flower?
Would it come within the definition of flowering to say that man is increasingly, or without increasingly, not meeting the challenge of the state of the world that he's living in? That it is, he is less and less able to respond adequately to what he faces.
What is the challenge of the world? What is it? What is it challenging me? What is it demanding of me? As a human being, society, culture, the religions and all that, what is it asking of me?
To flower.
What's that?
To flower.
Is it asking me to flower? On the contrary.
No, on the contrary. It asks you to have pleasure, it asks you to make money, it asks you to...
It is destroying me.
Right.
Yeah, but beyond that, there is certainly an obvious challenge to mankind if he's even to survive.
No, what is it,
Cope with what
Maria, I'm asking, what is America demanding of me? What is America challenging me? To what?
To succeed.
Huh?
To succeed.
To have more money, to have more entertainment, more pleasure, prepare for war, sex, and you know what's happening? Terror. That's what is, so out of that, what is it challenging me?
It isn't challenging.
I think
Also,
there's an actual challenge, in the sense that that is a false challenge that the society presents, but the society has in it another challenge that is not commonly perceived, which is that it is in danger of disintegration. And something should be...
Danger of chaos, disintegration. Is that what it is? And it says, what will you do?
It doesn't say anything, but that challenge may be perceived by somebody.
But when Maria used that word challenge, I'm asking, what is the world demanding of me? Of each of us?
Conformity, maybe.
Huh?
Certain kind of conformity.
What's that?
Conformity.
It seems
Is
as
that
if,
what he's asking me to do?
it seems as if it is the wrong question, because it implies that there is a division between the world and me.
I said, no, that's, that comes a little later. The world is me. I'm the first to say that. The world is me.
Yes.
And the world, and I am the world. There is no division.
Right. Then what sense does it make to ask?
No,
what
but
does-
when she used the word challenge, I'm asking, what does the world demand of me? Society, American society, English culture, European, all that. What does it ask of a human being?
But when I see that there is no division between the two, then there is no challenge.
But I think, you see, when one looks at what is actually happening every day in everyday life of a human being, then what the society is asking us to succeed, to work for the country, to become important, to do all these things. I mean, nobody in the society asks that, or shows you that question that you are society. That is something quite different. So I think, to answer maybe Maria, the challenge which we are talking about, doesn't that challenge come from, if we accept that division for the moment, doesn't that challenge come from ourselves? It is not the society that challenges me, but it is ourselves who are challenging ourselves.
Isn't it that the very challenge of society, which is to conform and to be tough and succeed and all the rest of it, is making the underlying, the deep challenge, which is humanity's appalling behavior, worse? We're responding on one level to the sociological, the society challenge, which is going against responding to what perhaps is the essential challenge, which is in ourselves. Would that make sense?
The challenge of sort of being human in a dehumanizing environment.
We're racing along in a pattern of surface challenge, which seems to be leading to an essential disaster in human terms.
Seems that what you call challenge is actually pressures from society rather than challenges.
Is the challenge different? Is there a difference in the challenge from outwardly and inwardly? Is it the same challenge, or is it that the outside institution is putting this challenge to
All right, so you say the world is me, I am the world. That's a reality, not just a theory, not just a concept or a conclusion. Then, what is your challenge? How do you challenge yourself? What do you demand of yourself? You see, we have gone. I want to go into this rather slowly instead of world is me and I am the world, then we're too fast.
It seems like today, especially in America, there's a great challenge, and I feel that, especially in California, of self-improvement. There is every group developing and flowering of you can come to me or read this book and you'll be more improved, you'll be a better person.
I know.
A constant up front of every program on television of being more youthful, being more beautiful, being more intelligent, more well-rounded, sports-minded.
I know. I wish we could go into it rather slowly, because we've got a whole week. What does, apart from world is me and I am the world, let's leave that thing till a little later. What is the world demanding of me? Apart from physical survival and all the rest of it, what is it asking of me? The scientists, the anthropologists, the religious leaders, the gurus, the Pope and all that, what are they asking me?
Well, to conform. That's what they seem to be.
Are they asking me to conform?
To follow them.
to be better in some way?
Find out, sir. What are they asking you?
Well, it seems like they're asking you to succeed in some way or another, either through status, through education, through money. It seems like the whole movement seems to be to be better in the eyes of society.
They also ask you to
Pope,
be separate.
If you're a Catholic, what does the Pope demand of you?
I guess you follow the Catholic religion.
No, sir. No, go into it a little bit, sir.
To convert.
You heard his speech. I don't know if you heard it here. It was in Italian. He said that we must see that more people are educated in our faith, to have faith in us.
The faith of the Catholics.
I mean, just the Pope is saying that. And I listened to it. And I said, faith in what? in Jesus, in Savior, and all that. And he is the representative of all that business. So you have faith not only in Jesus, but also in me. That implies. So what is he asking me as a human being? You don't know.
To belong to a certain pattern, to continue a certain pattern, uphold a certain established...
No, he's not so silly as all that, sir. He's asking me to have faith. He says, have peace. Don't, all the rest of the thing he's been trotting out, the encyclical, all that. Peace among human beings. And he's asking me to join him in creating that. Right? Right, sir?
He says that's the only way. He says also that's the only way.
There is...
Joining him, he means drawing all those things to him also. He means investing in his space. He means adding to his position.
See, there are 700 million of them, of these Catholics throughout the world. And they are all asking me to do something about it. I don't know if you, don't you?
To unite. To unite.
We don't listen to the Pope.
Well, doesn't he ask to give up the freedom to investigate and to challenge?
So that's what he's asking me. That just it, sir. You're not inquiring. He's asking me to lose my freedom and join in some faith in which they believe. Immaculate Conception, the whole business of it. And if I rebel against all that...
Eternal damnation, if you question.
Of course, all that stuff comes in. If I rebel, I go and join some other sect because they don't believe.
But they ask the same thing.
But essentially the same thing.
And beyond the religious beliefs are all the other explanations. Beyond the religious field, the same seduction is present.
So what is the world asking me, asking you?
Aren't they also asking us to divide the world in many categories?
No, go into a little more, please.
Aren't we being challenged by the great problems in the world? I mean, the things, the chaos we see and the problems that we can't resolve. We're being asked to resolve these problems, and we can't.
But they can't resolve these problems.
Exactly. But isn't that the real challenge? It can't be resolved in the groups, the religious organization. But aside from all that, we see these problems, we see the chaos, and we're not able to meet that challenge, to resolve it.
Yes, I feel that the whole of religion is greatly weakened, and many people don't feel what the Pope is saying, they just ignore it.
Of course.
And even among the Catholics, you see that the Catholic Church is getting weaker.
Of course.
And people feel this other challenge that you just put, and that's the one that worries people.
They are demanding that one never looks at something fresh, something new, something from the very beginning, that one is not skeptical.
So throughout all religions, except perhaps parts of Hinduism and Buddhism, skepticism is allowed. To have doubt.
Not in the Catholic Church.
Of course not. Not in the Protestant or any of the churches in the West, but in the East, Buddhism and Hinduism, one of the things is that you must doubt, you must question, you must ask, you must find out. But is it, sir, that they are asking me to accept the human condition as it is, make things better, little more order, a little more, but the human condition is this, accept it.
do that, because some of them say that if you believe in Christ, that you will be saved. That the
saved from
change. What they really mean, transformed. They really mean. I mean, some of the Christians probably do as you say. But others originally didn't think that way. But they say if you believe in Christ, then you will be transformed.
Yes, but it implies that I must accept authority, I must accept the condition I am in, and hand myself over to some Christ image, and He will save me.
You've got to trust in Christ.
Yeah, but it's all. Is that what the world is demanding of me?
It seems to demand that you allow yourself to be absorbed, is the word that seems to express best what I'm feeling right now, that you become absorbed, which is to give up the freedom, but it's a disappearing into something.
A certain kind of dependence.
It's a dependence, attachment, the whole business of it. But I'm just asking, I want to go a little more deeper than that. What are you asking me as your friend? You are the world. So what are you asking of me? What does America ask of you? Apart from money and all the rest of it, much deeper, at a deeper level. What is it asking of me?
Loyalty.
Huh?
Loyalty, commitment.
Isn't it asking me to be a good citizen? I'm just questioning. Don't jump on me. I'm just asking. Isn't it asking me to be a good citizen? Apart from the, chicanery, cheating, the appalling things that are happening, the original movement of this country was be a good man, be a good citizen, because that will make a good society. Is that what is America asking of me? Is that what the world is asking of me? World says we must have a good society. Aristotle, all the way down. And so deeply humanity is craving for good society. Right, sir? Would we?
I think that's clear. Everybody would like that.
Yes. If that is the challenge, deep challenge to me, to a human being, then how am I to have that extraordinary quality of goodness? Because I go to India, and there is the mess, the confusion, the dirt, the squalor, the poverty. It's incredible. Below that, beyond that, that world is asking me, for God's sake, be good, be a good citizen, be a center of goodness.
Is a good citizen and goodness the same?
What?
Is that the same goodness and a good citizen?
I'm not defining the word yet. I'm trying to find out what the world is asking me to be. There's chaos, there is division, there is every form of misery and so on. Come on, sirs, what is it asking?
I don't know if the world is actually asking you to be a center of goodness, as you say.
Yes, sir, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
I doubt it.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
You see, I feel that it's much more that they ask you to be a good American or to be a good European.
No, that's all. If I'm good right through the world. It's not I'm good in America and bad in India, or good in India and bad here. I'm good.
Well, then,
and good, the world will be a different place.
That's
It'll
right.
be a good place.
Yeah. After all, the communists said, at one time, not now, early times, they said there will be no government, no institutions, everyone will be free, fed, and all the rest of that nonsense. They put it out.
Yeah, but sir, the goodness that the world demands from you, or America demands from you, is not a general goodness. A good American is probably a bad communist. So that kind of goodness that the world demands is a biased goodness, is a...
Sir, isn't there...
That's not what you're talking about.
Isn't the world crying for a society that will be good?
Yes, but each one tries for a different goodness.
And we're going to define the goodness. We'll for the moment keep to the word good without defining it yet, going into it. Isn't the world demanding me of...
Yes.
Be so morally good that you will create a different society, different human beings, different education, different culture, different... Isn't it what is demanding?
Basically, don't make trouble in society. They ask you not to make trouble.
No.
Yes, but that's on the surface, I think. More deeply, you see the situation all around you, and that situation, that chaos, is what seems to demand that some change come about, right?
I think if you were to look back into the earlier history of America, as you were saying, you would see that this demand for goodness was openly being made at the beginning. And people have become cynical since then. And so
Of course, sir.
They say
Of course.
It is also the essential aim of all religions, to become good.
To be good, yes, to become good. To be good. Is that what the world, society, the chaos, the misery, the terror, the tortures, the violence, accept all that, see all that as superficially, and beyond that, at a deeper, unconscious, deep down level, what is the world demanding of each one of us?
It's also demanding order.
Order. That's right. Order. Says if you are orderly, if you are good, you will create a different society. Is that what America wants? Deep down, apart from the rot that's going on.
For the word demanding, do you mean what it needs rather than seems to be demanding?
Yes, sir.
But the rut seems to be so strong.
What's at the heart of the rot? What is at the heart of the rot?
The heart of?
The rot. Corruption. What is at the heart of it? Is it really at the heart? Is it really rotten and corrupt? Or is it in agony?
I don't know.
Is it that we don't know how to be good?
To approach this problem, sir, goodness and the rot, what is the root cause, the basis of this rot, the cause of it? Do we discuss that?
I think to state the question that way clears away a lot of possible distortions like time and measurement and so on, because we're looking at what is then.
Time, that's a little more complex. So let's We'll come to it so slowly, but I'm just asking, what were we going to discuss, have a dialogue about? The appalling chaos in the world and the cause of it? Is that what we're going to discuss?
I think that is one thing, but the other would also be, as we said in the beginning, is it possible not to be in that rut?
Yes, the moment I find out, seriously, for myself, what is the root cause of this rot, I want to use the word degeneration, this chaos, this multiple divisions, political, religion, all the rest of it. Do we discuss that?
I think we have to, yes.
I don't, it's up to you, sir. Let's be clear what we're talking, otherwise, from the beginning, slowly. We've just come back from India. There the rot is so obvious. So, it's there. You don't have to look very deeply. The confusion, the political, all that. And one of the talks, they said, what is the cause of all this?
Whereas in America it has such a lovely mask.
And of course, don't go into it for the moment. I'm asking, what is the cause of all this? Huh? You may not ask this question, but if you do ask this question now, that's your challenge. All right, let's keep to that. That's your challenge. To find out, you must find out, not just theoretically speculate about it, actually discover for oneself what is the cause of this chaos in the world. You might say it's selfishness, but that's individual freedom. That's again goes off, but much deeper. Oh, they've got plenty of it.
Yeah, but it is wasted in all of that.
Yes, but they've got energy.
Yes.
To build armaments, to make money.
But that energy is completely consumed by the rut.
Yeah, but I want to find out what has caused this energy to be so misused. So diabolically distorted.
We've created a world in which we're more concerned with things than we are with relationships.
So, go on, sir. For me, I know what it is, but let's discuss it. By using one single word like selfishness, that doesn't solve it.
Well, it seems the cause is clearly within the human being, within his mind, that is confusion.
Yes, what is the cause of this confusion in me?
That's the question.
The same thing. So put it, the world is me and I'm the world, and the confusion is, I have created this confusion. Why? What is the root of it?
Not having a proper idea of what the priorities are, we seem to be running amok and doing according to our pleasures.
Yes. All right. That's creating such havoc in the world. What is the root of it? You are not...
Isn't it separateness? A feeling of separateness?
Yes, but why is there separateness?
Well, is there separateness perhaps because man has forgotten or man has not the proper use of thought?
Then, if we not properly use thought, why? What is the root? I've got energy, sir. Plenty of energy. To prepare war, you understand, to make me a soldier, it needs tremendous energy. To spend millions and millions and millions on armaments requires tremendous energy. On the part of the scientist, the worker, the politician, we have got any amount of energy. And why is it that energy has been so distorted, has created such havoc in the world?
Well, there seems to be a great lack of clarity and also of insensitivity, of not caring, not...
Yes, sir. But what's the...
Is it that we think...
Raison d'être pour ça. I mean...
We think that this separateness is real and it's a fact and we act accordingly.
Yes, sir. All right. Why has mankind accepted this separateness as the norm, as it should be? We accept it. We accept war. Why?
Well, separateness seems to be real in the sense that someone who thinks I'm of a different nationality is going to act according to that, and it will evoke the same response in me.
Yes, sir. Who has divided the nations? Who has divided the world into Catholicism, Protestantism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, and so who? You're not meeting my point.
We believe in ideas. They are real to us.
Why?
Thought has divided the people and nations and religions, black and white and so on. Isn't that so?
There seems to be a real fear between people, deepening the separateness.
Does that answer, madam, if I may ask, satisfy you? Have you answered the question, not my question, this question? Why? There is such terrible division, destructive division, chaos in the world.
It seems, when I think about it, that people on the whole, or maybe individuals, are seeking such a power that they can create a feeling of separateness between the others, and maybe developing this fear between groups and between people.
Krishnaji, it seems that we can give many answers to your question, but none of these answers is really changing something. It seems that these answers are still in the same process which you want to describe. You know, we can give all kinds of explanations, but so what?
I don't want explanations,
right.
sir.
So,
I want to find the truth of it.
so how can we approach it differently?
We'll do it in a minute. Go on, I said. I want the truth of it. I don't want your description telling me that's so, and I accept it. Means nothing. Aristotle says something, or this or that person says something. It means nothing to me. I say, what is the truth of this matter? Irrevocable. That is absolutely true.
One of the things is that humanity right now lacks perception. It is not really perceptive enough of the situation that has come about.
So you are the humanity. You are the representative of all human beings, obviously, psychologically. What is your answer to this? The truth of it, not an explanation, a description, or what you think, but it must stand, truth must stand by itself, irrevocably.
So is it perhaps so that the mind has a function in separating, let's say, a poisonous snake from a non-poisonous snake? That is a useful function of thinking, of recognizing something. But then the mind implies that same separation in the psychological field. And there where it gets all messy.
Yes, sir. Go on. And then what? Is this so?
This conviction about being separate and acting according to that seems to be deeper than just what we superficially think about. Partly we've been brought up with the conviction that we are separate, and everything reinforces that conviction. And the idea of not being separate, perhaps as you might have suggested it, and we're seeing it just
yes, sir.
sort of doubtly.
I mean, the dolphins and the killer whales and all those, they don't feel. They are cooperate, you follow? They are together when there is danger, when there is something. I just want to ask you, please give your thought a minute. Don't give immediate answer. I want to find out what is the truth of this. Not your opinion and my opinion or some philosopher's conclusion. I want to find out the truth of this matter. How am I to find out? Because if I can find the truth of it, then perhaps that truth will act, will do something. But if it's merely your opinion opposed to my opinion opposed to you, we are back into the same old game.
How does one find the truth?
That's what I'm asking you. How do you find out the truth?
I don't know.
How do we know?
How do you find out? Opinion isn't truth, is it? Conclusions isn't truth. Your experience isn't the truth. Yes? What Christ is supposed to have said or didn't say, or some person, isn't the truth. So I have to find out. So I must be free of absolutely of every opinion.
And more deeply to realize that no description is the truth.
Yes, sir, that means that.
Which undergirds me, the seeing of
That's
that
right. I have
flows
no
everything
opinion,
else out.
no description.
That's right.
I'm not relying on somebody to tell me. There must be absolute freedom to discover.
And one must have set aside.
Go slowly, sir. Are you in that position?
I'm saying.
No. Are you in that position? You have no opinion. Because you don't know. You can't have an opinion about something you don't know. Your experience can't tell you what truth is. Or can it?
No.
My experience is limited.
Of course.
And all it can offer is description.
So find out, sir, no opinion, are you free of opinion, and you are not relying on your experiences.
But when you ask the question, our experience is the only thing we have recourse to in order to approach to a
So
conclusion.
you have an experience, and that experience tells you what is right and wrong, what is true.
No, I'm trying to answer your question only through looking into my experience and trying to relate your question to what I've experienced in my life. Apart from that, I don't know how your question wouldn't carry any meaning.
But your experience is going to color your eyes when you look.
Oh, can I reframe your question? You're saying to look at the world outside of us.
As well as inside, which is the same.
Without...
Exactly.
And that comes about only when the process of description and experience is realized to be completely
it comes about when you hear a statement and you see instantly the truth of it. Not description, opinions, conclusion.
What is the state of mind that...
You're not meeting this.
Excuse me. What is the state of mind that allows for that seeing of the truth?
No, madam, would you please find out for yourself? Are you free of opinions?
No.
Then you can't see the truth of this inquiry. Well, what is the cause of this chaos? If you have opinions, you can't find out. Your opinions are going to dictate.
It seems that we're jumping too fast. Since the opinions remain, then what are we going to do? Because
Let's then say, look, I have opinions. They're going to, please, let's investigate that and see if I can be free of that. Right? Shall we do that? What are opinions? And why do you have opinions? Doesn't matter about anything. Carter, anybody. Why opinions?
The response upon experience, the reactions upon experience are opinions.
Is it? I don't know anything about Carter, except what the newspapers tell me, or the magazines. Why do I have to have an opinion about somebody?
You feel unsafe ground.
Huh?
You feel unsafe ground.
Having opinions gives you a sense of safety.
I suppose it's a bit of self-conceit to have opinions.
See what is happening, sir. You have your opinion, and I have my opinion, and X has another opinion. So the three of us are loggerheads about something that is,
That we don't know anything about.
Why should I have an opinion about anything?
I think society demands that you have opinions.
Therefore, I refuse to have an opinion because society demands it.
Opinions provide great security to the mind.
Yes, sir, opinions give security.
Because you never have to say, I don't know.
Yes, but as Dr. Bohm has pointed out, society is telling me, vote, vote, vote. Think this, do this. So it is conditioning me to have opinions.
Society is based on the assumption that people have opinions.
Yes, and I have created that society. Right? My grandfather, I means not only the present me, but the past generations have created the society. And society says, have opinions.
They educate you to have opinions.
Yes, that's what it is. Educate you, condition you, see through every means that you have opinions.
Somehow the brain has decided the movement of opinion has value. I mean, throughout the world.
Now, sir, wait a minute. Don't you see the useless burden of it? No, wait. Therefore, you are free of it.
I mean, it's clear your opinions have been impressed unconsciously. We may consciously see the utility of opinions, but we still have a tremendous number of opinions.
Of course.
It's not so easy to get.
And I think it's also not easy to see the difference between an opinion and, let's say, a thought which you have to cherish for a while, but you must be ready to drop it. You know, the difference between a thought, let's say, in science, and an opinion, I think it is often not clear.
And we confuse opinions with knowledge.
Yes.
I think we need knowledge to...
What's the meaning? Root meaning of opinion?
Well, originally it's a belief or a presupposition, fundamentally.
That's right.
Of course, we may use presuppositions practically, but when it comes to...
It's a form of tradition.
Well, yes, well, that's part of it. It comes from tradition. But we might consciously presuppose certain things to make an assumption just for the sake of convenience, which we could drop, you see. But the opinions we have about society or about people are not of that nature.
They're more rigid.
Yeah.
That emotional content.
Yeah, they have a very strong feeling and content to drive them.
So the mind has again done this thing. It has taken something that is useful, say in science, namely a hypothesis, which one could sort of call an opinion. It's not the same thing. And that has then put this in the psychological field, and there it loses its usefulness.
So shouldn't the question also be that why is it that we can intellectually see that opinions are a burden and still not be free from them? What is preventing us?
Well, they give us some kind of success, so maybe we cling more to that.
Survival in society depends on opinions.
But we can discuss it, but we're still not free. We're still not clear on it. We don't get rid of it.
Have we actually looked at the thing itself, at an opinion, at the actual process inwardly when it takes place, seeing what it is?
What is implied?
Not what is implied, what it is, as like your heart beating or your stomach rumbling. It's something that comes into being. What is it? It's something that goes on. Have we actually looked at it?
So, Mrs. Zimblis pointed out just now, are we confusing knowledge with opinion? Knowledge, I know how to go to the village.
Well, to a certain extent, the word allows you to have confusion because several doctors may have different opinions.
Yes.
Where they really mean knowledge, of course, that their degree of knowledge.
Degree of, yes.
Incomplete degree of knowledge.
I have no complete knowledge about anything, but I have opinions about everything.
But the language is confusing because in some ways it allows you to use that language for some lack of knowledge, and on the other hand it may be a belief.
That's what opinion, knowledge, belief.
Yeah.
Now why do I have any of this?
Well, you have to have knowledge.
Of course, knowledge I understand. Limited. But why do I carry this about in my mind, all this? Does it give me security?
It gives the feeling that I am something.
No, madam, don't just quickly answer. Find out.
It simplifies the task of living in many ways.
Does it?
Well, that's what I think it does.
Does it actually? No.
It's not.
So are we living a lot of illusions? So, living in a world that is not real at all. So let's go into this. Why do I have opinions? Now we know what we mean by opinions.
Is serve a function in daily relationship, in what we call conversation.
Why should I have no about my wife or my mother or my husband?
Because you demand them of me.
I'm refused to accept this.
No, I understand that you're not demanding it, but my wife demands it.
No, I refuse to. Even if my wife demands it, I refuse to accept what she demands of me.
Oh, this happens all the time in conversations. I believe this, don't you? The hooks, the constant hooks that people throw.
I know this.
Well, I think we get that sense of certainty, which the opinion gives a sense of certainty, which removes doubt, and the person feels better.
It again comes back also to this question of energy, which we raised earlier. Because if I have an opinion, I don't have to expend any energy in investigating anything. I grab it out of my bag of opinions.
Just a minute, sir, just a minute. If I have no opinion, you're saying there's no need to investigate?
No, it's the other way around. If I have an opinion, then I don't have to expend energy
to investigate. Quite.
There's an objection to that because you expend a lot of energy defending the opinion.
The opinion is known.
Defending the opinion, yes. But
it takes a lot of energy. There's doubt. Every opinion has doubt in it.
But
people feel doubtful.
Sir, that is up on another level, however, on a very much of a surface level, to defend a fixed point of view, let's say.
It's easier.
That's easier, much easier, than to delve into the question and find out what it is really about. That takes a different kind of energy.
Yeah, that's right. It seems to me, though, there's another opinion there, which is that we should do what's easier.
Yes.
That seems to be implied, yes.
Easier is the most comfortable.
That's right.
Slip into it.
Yeah. Fear comes into being here too.
Yeah. Fear of the unknown.
So, all right. After describing all this, are you free of opinion?
To answer yes or no to this question would be another opinion.
Find out. You don't have to answer me. Find out if you have an opinion about anything. And the same thing, believe. To have beliefs is the same, on the same level.
So is this not a rather useless procedure to sit here and try and find out whether we have any opinions? Isn't it more important to see the opinion when it arises in a discussion like this?
Yes, and so are you now in discussing what is the root cause of this chaos? Are you offering an opinion? What you believe? So, wait up. Therefore, we ask the question, how is one to find out what is the truth of this? Right? And we said opinions and beliefs have no place in inquiring into the truth of, or the cause of this chaos. And also, doesn't it mean to have no tradition in this?
Again, our tradition is observed mainly unconsciously, so we find it very hard to...
That's why it's a very complex thing, this. It's not just, I have no opinions.
But can't we actually, in discussing this very question, as Mike suggested, put away the opinions, put away the beliefs, and which we can, I think, can very well see. If
And then go back to them later?
No, of course. No.
That's what happens.
See them as they appear.
Yes. I think in the process can they be wiped out so that they don't come?
No, sir. I want to find the truth. The truth must be revealed in my inquiry into the cause of this chaos. That's my passionate interest in that only, in nothing else. And anything comes in the way, I discard. Not discard, it doesn't come in the way. Because it's like all my energy and intention and everything is to find out the truth of this. And I see opinions, beliefs, what other people say, they drop away, they have no interest to me.
I was wondering if we can find the central mechanism, the central thing that is partly opinion, partly belief, partly tradition, all these different things, rather than trying to take each one apart. What actual thing?
We are doing that, sir.
Yes.
We are doing it. We are doing it now. These are the things that are tearing it apart. Do I give my whole attention to the discovery of the truth of the cause of this chaos? Do I give my whole attention? Which means any movement away from that is not attention. So am I giving my attention?
Yes, any point of view is obviously a distraction.
Hmm?
If you have a
Of
point
course,
of view,
of course,
it's
of
obviously
course.
a distraction.
So I'm asking you.
Sure, it's obvious.
So the past.
The whole thing.
Completely alone.
I say, this, we're asking something tremendously complicated thing and making it very, very simple, which is absurd.
Sir, if you're saying that we must put everything aside, what everyone says, what you read, it means that then you're left with certain uncertainty there.
So I don't know if you have read a great deal. Personally, I don't. Heard a great, so on. I want to find out, you must all want to find out, the cause of this misery, cause of this chaos. Not according to Aristotle or the Christ or the Pope or this or that. They may all be wrong. Probably are. I don't accept them as absolute truth, sayers. I don't know. So I say to myself, how am I to find this out?
We must put all that aside.
And I don't. How am I to find it out? Obviously, to find anything out, you must observe very, very, very precisely and very clearly. Right? That's all. My instrument of observation must be absolutely, spotlessly clear. That's all my concern.
When you say, sir, that it has to be clear, you mean there can be no knowledge involved whatsoever?
Huh?
No knowledge.
I don't know.
I'm asking, does this mean that knowledge must not be present?
No, their knowledge must not be present. In my inquiry, because knowledge then dictates. No. Opinion, belief, knowledge are out. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not saying. I want to find the truth of it. That's all.
In what you're saying, there's the tacit assumption or something that we can find the truth. You see now, of course, that we have to go into that because many, as you were saying, large numbers of people are implying that the human condition is the way it is.
It is, yes.
It cannot be changed.
I mean, the whole existentialists, whole humanitarians and so on, say, well, accept the condition, human condition, as it is, make it a little better, but you can't escape from it. You can't go beyond it.
Could we ask why you're saying that we can find the truth? You're saying something different. Could you make it clear what makes you say it? there is a truth which is beyond all that.
Of course there
Which
is.
can free you, right?
Of course. Otherwise I'm stuck in this circle.
But that doesn't answer what makes you say that there is such a truth?
Yes, we haven't inquired into that, and yet they haven't.
What makes me say me?
Yeah.
I say I've discovered it. You may say you're cuckoo.
We have to say we don't know.
So I say let's discuss it. Let's have a dialogue about it. Let's investigate it together.
We don't have to presuppose anything in order to eliminate things that obviously are inadequate. That much we can do, clearly.
You know? Yes. So what shall we do? If I say this is the cause, you'll all jump on it and say, well, it's not back and forth. But I want, if I may point out, find out for yourself what is the root of it. And then your question is, how am I to find out? Which it was, which you put it just now. I say, to find out the mind which is observing, which is inquiring, must be absolutely without any distortion. Right?
That already would require the truth, you see.
Huh?
That would already require truth, you see.
That is true.
It's a big jump.
Yes, I think the question is, can we explore it? Because every time you approach, it seems you must have the very thing before
So
you begin.
then you say, mind can never be,
What? No.
yeah, that's it. Mind can never be free from any kind of distortion.
Well, no, I don't say anything. I'm saying I'm just pointing out a difficulty.
I know, sir. I know. So what do we do?
When the mind is aware at every moment of the distortions and opinions which come in, aware without rejecting them or doing anything about them, then there is well, if the mind sees that they interfere with the investigation, it is not going to pursue them.
Sir, my question also is, my mind has been educated for millennia, and I've accepted that education, and that education has brought about a tremendous distortion. That's a fact. I can never see anything straight. It's always crooked. Then my question is, how am I to bring about a mind that is not distorted? Right? Please answer me. How am I to do it?
Well, it doesn't seem to be anyhow.
Once
one sees...
No, I'm asking, sir, please listen to me. Answer me. My mind, being a Hindu, brought up in that tremendous tradition of Brahman and so on, Western culture, the American way of life, all that has conditioned my mind, distorted my mind, wounded my mind, made it incapable of clarity, incapable of real deep investigation. And I come to you and to all of you and say, please help me to restore it.
But the thing is that seeing brings that distortion.
I'm sorry, I'm not. Tell me what to do. I won't. You see, you're not putting yourself in my shoes, which is my mind is distorted, educated. We accept that. Then please tell me, because I want to find out the truth of the cause of this confusion. A distorted mind can never find it. whether the distortion of the Catholic or the Protestant or the Hindu or the side, it won't discover the truth. But my mind is so burdened with it, so limited. What am I to do? Answer that question.
So we have to ask...
Answer my question.
Right. I will. We have to ask then, what can the mind do that is not distorted?
So you are telling me whatever the mind does will be distorted.
Yes.
Well, you can't say that entirely, can you? Say,
Well,
say that's forever, then...
No,
that's what I'm pointing it out carefully.
That's only the first part. That's what you have to
Stick to the first part. Don't go further, because I can't follow you further.
If the mind is blocked absolutely forever, then that's the end.
That's the end of it.
Right.
So somebody must have made a false statement.
Yeah, therefore find out, sir. That's what I mean.
Isn't the statement which you made, when you asked me that your brain is educated and is completely distorted, and you asked me, what shall I do?
The answer might be this.
And I have to tell you, as long as your mind is distorted, whatever you try to do to undo that distortion will create another distortion.
No, sir. Whatever. Please help me. I'm sorry. Help me.
All this is in time, right?
I don't know anything about time. Because you're bringing something much too complicated for me to understand at present. I only know my mind is so heavily conditioned, and therefore it is distorted. It hasn't got that extraordinary, pristine essence of clarity. So it says, I can't understand what truth is, because it is distorted. Stick to that point, please, and help me.
All right, well, the question, sir, is, can you see that there is that distortion? I mean, the fact that you're
I
saying...
can't. I think I can.
Well, is that an opinion then? Is that...
Yeah, that's, you see that, I'm coming to that. I think I can, but the distortion goes on.
You're not really aware of
Is it? Help me, sir. So what you are saying, all of you, just like water drops off, it doesn't help me.
The only thing that you can do is to keep looking.
Then I'm always distorting. It's always, I think I'm straight, but really I'm looking over there.
But so the distortion comes through thought in the interpretation of what I'm seeing. So if I don't interpret, period, then there cannot be a distortion. Because whether there are opinions or no opinions, or whether it's an illusion about the opinions, it doesn't matter. As soon as the mind stops interpreting what it sees, it cannot distort.
But my mind is doing that, sir. It has been trained, twisted for years and years.
I think a deep problem is when I think I see, I am interpreting.
You see, you are missing my point.
But is not perhaps your only hope that in continuing to look that the truth will show itself? And then, like a fire, that perhaps it will grow from that?
Sir, is your mind distorted? Huh?
I don't know.
Don't you want to find out?
Yes.
How will you find out?
I have to leave aside whether it's distorted or not.
No, do it now, sir. I'm asking. This is a serious conversation. I hope all of us. I'm asking you, is your mind distorted? I mean by distortion, it cannot see anything purely, objectively, directly, with this tremendous clarity. always something interfering. Thought, prejudice, wishes, follow. Something is all the time coming in between. All that takes dominance. It dominates my desire to see clearly. Right, sir? My passionate interest is to see clearly. But these things come all the time in the way. I realize that and I say, how am, in the name of heavens, these interferences to stop? Right? That's all I'm asking. I won't accept, as the others do, accept it, old boy. It is your condition. You can't escape from it. Only Jesus will help you. I said, nonsense, get away from all that nonsense. I don't accept all that. Nor do I accept that eternally I'm conditioned. My conditioning is eternal. I said, that's appalling. That is eternal damnation. Not of the priests, but of the existentialists.
If you see all that...
No, wait, sir, I'm coming to that. So my state, now I realize, all these people have influenced me to bring about this distortion, right? From the Aristotle down and from back and forth. So I say to myself, right, now what am I to do? Because without that clarity, I cannot see the truth. There is no truth except in a book. I won't accept that. So, come on, sirs, help me.
So you said that there is this tremendous energy on wanting to find out.
Yes.
Right? And at the end of it, when you see this distortion, then the only thing the mind says, I don't know where to go from here. But
are you
still remains
are you
is
in
this
that
energy.
state where you say, I don't know what to do with this distortion? Are you?
Yes.
No, sir, this, please go slowly because this is... But I can't say that. I can't say I don't know. Because my mind is so crowded with knowledge, right? It's so crowded with other people's information, other people's experience, that you say, I can't say that. I used to know a very famous, he's dead now, Aldous Huxley. And we used to take long walks with great friends, so on. He used to say, I've read so much. I can tell you all about science, as much as he knew at that time. I can tell you about Vedanta, Buddhism, Christianity, read volumes. My mind is so full of all this, I don't think I can ever experience something totally new. You understand? So the cry of a man, you don't...
Well, you're saying knowledge has a pressure within it to drive onward, and whether you like it or not, whether you want to or not.
That's why I'm in that position now, that I realize the pressure, I realize all that. And I said, what am I to do? I know what I'm doing. I won't do a thing. Because whatever I do, twists. Right, sir? So
You can, see, but this man wasn't able to do that.
I know, because I know why. Why? Obviously.
But I mean, how would you communicate to that man how to stop doing anything?
I'll show you it presently.
Sir, at this point, don't you have to ask who is asking this question? What am I to do?
Yes, you ask the question, what am I to do? Go on, so ask it, what am I to do?
Because
you can only genuinely ask that question honestly when you say, what? When you see whatever you do is a distortion. It's only when you see the absolute truth of that, right?
No, but I think knowledge has this tremendous pressure to prevent you from seeing that it keeps on
pushing,
thinking if you do this, it'll be all right. If you do that.
So
Is it asking that question or that need to know itself a
I've removed that pressure. When I say I won't do anything.
But so the question implies that there are two things, namely that there are the opinions and all of that, the distortion, and that there is I who asked the question about these opinions.
No, I've gone beyond that, sir. If I may point out, we've discussed this previously. Opinions, beliefs, knowledge in inquiry have no place. But they interfere constantly. Their pressure is enormous, both consciously as well as unconsciously. And I realize any form of pressure, any form of motive brings about distortion, therefore prevents clear, unadulterated perception. So but doesn't this take place? There are all these pressures. Right, sir? But there is a super pressure which says find out. Just a minute. Find out. Discover. Go into it. Don't let these things interfere. Though they interfere, come. Don't let them, watch them, but don't let them take over. There is this tremendous tremendous passion to find out, which is not a pressure.
Force to great energy.
Are you saying that?
Yes, that's what I'm. A really deep river, its banks may be sullied, dirty, but the current is going on.
So when there is the insight into the distortion through all the opinions and so on, then this tremendous energy of which you speak is not dissipated in these opinions and all this stuff anymore. Right? So then this energy has to have its own intelligence of working on it.
Don't bring it. No, sir, I just said this, look. There is this passionate interest in me to find out the truth, the cause of this chaos. That's all. That's my passionate central interest. nothing. That is a current. That is driving. Not me or that's a current taking me along. All these side issues doesn't sully that current.
Yeah, so if we go back to the man who thought that he was completely blocked, you would say that in fact that wasn't true.
Yes.
That there is this current available.
Yes, that's right. You see, sir, we must be very careful because, because the Hindus and the Eastern philosophy should say that God is in you, that is driving you. You're careful, so that's why I must be awfully careful in all this.
It's not actually necessarily there, but there is potential that has the possibility.
Possibility, that's right. But you see, by calling, that's an opinion they're offering me.
Yeah. But you're implying in what you say that there is this possibility.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, because that's what I want. If I'm hungry, everything I beg or do something.
One has to be careful because the hunger.
No, don't pick up that word.
You see, we are getting into a direction which might be an opinion again about this religious idea of the
It's not an opinion.
Like you say, for you it's not an opinion, but maybe for others it could be.
No, but I said right from the beginning, it is my intention to find out the truth of this chaos, the cause of it. Not superficial causes, not pressure and so on, opinion. I want to find the truth of it. That's my central drive.
And that is the current that you are talking about?
Yes, sir. Like you've seen a tremendous river. The sides on the banks is filthy. In the center there's marvelous clarity going on and on and on.
But maybe one could say that one man in his conditioning does not start out with that river. He may start out with the question which we asked in the beginning, how can I know what is at the root of this confusion? Then he starts looking and sees opinions, he sees belief, and as he is inquiring in his approach, this river comes into being. This energy comes into being and puts away the
So the very asking that question brings the energy, if you ask it rightly.
That's right. That's right.
But if you say, well, I like to know about it, but but I must have $1 million tomorrow and all that, you know.
And the energy is multiplied as the superficiality is followed.
Also, is it not so that mankind has the idea that all of these problems can only be resolved by thinking about them?
No, I haven't thought about it.
No, not you.
We must stop. It's time to stop, sir. I haven't thought about this problem at all. Sorry. I'm stating what is observed. It's not a problem. Right, sir? The problem arises only when I say, I must solve it in this way or that way. But I have no solution. I just observe what is happening.
I think that's what he was pointing out, sir. What he was saying is that humanity believes that by thinking about the problem is the way.
Yes, sir, of course.
What he was saying. Right.
And we must stop now because we'll come to a point, would you pick it up when? Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning.